Everything you know about the edge of the universe is wrong. You've been told it's a gentle fade, a poetic border, a romantic limit. Something like standing at the ocean's edge at dusk, watching light disappear. Forget that. The real edge of the universe is a prison wall. And right now, as you read this sentence, that wall is moving away from you faster than light itself is allowed to travel. The observable universe extends 46.5 billion light-years in every direction. At that boundary, space is tearing itself apart at velocities that shatter the one rule we thought was sacred, that nothing outruns light. Beyond that line, cause and effect break down completely. Light from those galaxies has been running toward us for billions of years. It will never arrive. The universe handed down a sentence. No appeal, no exceptions. Right now, in the time it takes you to finish this sentence, the edge has pushed outward by 300,000 kilometers. Not because matter moved, because space itself expanded. The floor beneath you, the air in your lungs, all of it stretched slightly wider silently, without asking permission. The engineers at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center work with these numbers every day. Not one of them has made peace with what those numbers actually mean. There are civilizations out there, maybe billions of them, whose light has been chasing us across the cosmos and will never reach us. The universe has already decided. We are not explorers at a frontier. We are inmates. And the question that should be sitting heavy in your chest right now is this: how do you grieve for a message the universe itself decided you were never allowed to receive? Drop a comment below. I want to know if you feel it too. To measure how trapped we are, you need a measuring stick. Humanity built one. We launched it in 1977. Gave it a beautiful name and spent 5 decades pretending it proved something. Voyager, the greatest escape artist in human history. Here is what that escape actually looks like. Voyager 1 is 23 billion kilometers away. Its signal takes 22 hours to reach us at the speed of light. It runs on an 8-track magnetic tape drive. Its total power output, the electricity keeping it alive, is shrinking toward 4 watts. We've already discussed how this lonely old warrior fights. If you want to understand it better, click on the video link below. The engineers at JPL listen to that signal the way you press your ear to a wall, hoping to catch a conversation in the next room. Faint, distant, increasingly garbled. And here is the brutal truth. Voyager just crossed the heliopause, the point where our sun's influence finally ends. Waiting beyond it is the Oort cloud, a frozen shell of 1 trillion comets extending 1.5 light-years outward. At its current speed, Voyager needs 300 centuries to cross it. Every civilization that has ever risen and fallen on Earth fits inside one of those centuries. Voyager needs 300. On the scale of the galaxy, Voyager's journey rounds down to 0. It is not a hero sailing toward the horizon. It is an old man whispering into permanent darkness, running out of breath, running out of time, running out of power, 4 watts at a time before the silence becomes final. Space is hard, and Voyager is our most honest confession of exactly how hard. When James Webb aimed itself at the edge of the observable past, the teams at the Space Telescope Science Institute expected a nursery. A young, gentle cosmos taking its first tentative steps. Instead, they found a slaughterhouse. Fully formed, impossibly massive galaxies sitting in an era of cosmic history where, according to every model, every equation, every textbook ever written, they had no right to exist. The astronomical community named them the Little Red Dots. And the consensus from Caltech to Cambridge is 3 words stated flatly and without embellishment. They should not be there. The leading explanation involves quasi-stars, objects so extreme they read like mythology. A supermassive black hole is embedded inside a vast envelope of dense hydrogen gas. Not orbiting it, not beside it, inside it, consuming it from within. Feeding at rates that exceed the Eddington limit, the hard ceiling on how fast a black hole is physically permitted to eat by a factor of 40. The result glows with the luminosity of 1 trillion suns compressed into a space smaller than our solar system. The Webb team rechecked the data, then checked it again, sent it to colleagues. Because when data says the universe broke its own rules, you make certain the mistake is yours. It wasn't. The universe did not begin with a gentle unfolding. It began with violence, and we are only now measuring. And the lingering question that keeps lights burning late across every major observatory on Earth, if the universe was this extreme this early. What else in our textbooks is quietly waiting to be shattered? But the little red dots are not the most frightening thing at the edge. There is something that does not need to be seen to be felt. When astronomers analyzed large-scale cosmic structures, galaxy clusters spanning hundreds of millions of light years, they found something the standard model of cosmology cannot explain. Thousands of galaxy clusters across a region of space so vast our entire observable universe fits inside it as a modest suburb are drifting. Same direction, coherent, coordinated, relentless, toward a region near the constellations of Centaurus and Hydra at 600 to 1,000 kilometers per second. Not toward anything visible. Not toward any structure we can observe or measure or point a telescope at. They are being pulled by something beyond the prison wall. This is dark flow. An invisible shepherd herding entire galaxies, each one containing hundreds of billions of stars. Each star potentially circled by worlds toward a destination that falls entirely outside what we will ever be able to see. The gravitational reach of something that exists past the edge, crossing a boundary that light cannot cross, laying an unrefusable claim on everything inside our cage. The ESA's Planck mission mapped the afterglow of the Big Bang with extraordinary precision. Inside that map sits the Eridanus supervoid, a vast anomalously cold scar whose temperature profile our models cannot fully explain. Some theoretical physicists believe it is a collision wound, evidence that our bubble of reality struck another bubble during the inflationary period, that something was on the other side, and that contact left a mark burned into the geometry of everything we have ever known. Right now, as you watch this, dark flow is still pulling. Not loudly, not dramatically, just steadily, patiently from beyond a wall we will never see past. The prison is not just physical, it is permanent. And the most terrifying implication is this: there are truths about our own existence that the universe by its very structure has made permanently inaccessible. Some questions are not waiting to be answered, they are waiting to be accepted. So what do we do with all of that? Here is what we actually do. We show up anyway. On a pale blue dot, a species assembled from the ash of dead stars looked up at the dark and decided the dark was a problem to be solved. The engineers at Johnson Space Center are designing systems for missions beyond Earth orbit. The observers at Atlas are scanning the sky for objects that should not exist and finding them anyway. The theorists filling whiteboards with equations describing phenomena they will never live to see are confirmed. None of them is doing this because the universe rewards the effort. It doesn't. It doesn't acknowledge us. It doesn't comfort us. It operates at scales that make the entire span of human civilization, every war, every cathedral, every act of love or cruelty this planet has ever produced, round down to a rounding error. And yet, we know dark flow is real. We know something beyond our cage is pulling on us. We know the edge is retreating faster than we can follow. And we have not stopped building telescopes. The universe is vast enough to be humiliating. The walls are real. The sentence is permanent. But the curiosity that drives a species to map what it cannot cross, to name what it cannot touch, to grieve for light that will never arrive, that has no edge at all. We are not just observing the universe from the outside. We are the universe looking at itself, refusing to look away. And that refusal, stubborn, irrational, and completely human today's space journey, has reached its end. What discovery impressed you the most? What do you think lies beyond the outer edge of space? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to receive notifications for future trips. Keep your sensors open. Our journey continues. Out.